got two ends. One at each jump belt. We're going to go right down to the center. Just about the middle. Got it, cutie. Don't worry, folks. When I finish, those two ribbons be good as new. There you go, good as new, huh? No? Not buying that? Warm up the car. I was just kidding. I'm a magician. I'll fix it. Ready? 1, 2. Thank you, everybody. A little bird talking out there. This is cool. Close attention to this next one, because you're going to remember it the longest day that you live. I guarantee, folks, this next one is going to blow you away. Are you ready, Buzz? He says he is. Impersonation of the great Houdini. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and welcome to our show. My name is Belmonts Magic is my game, and we're going to have some fun together today as I perform a few feats of prestidigitation or legerdemain. That's magic that defy all the known laws of nature and physics. But before I go any further, I want to take just a minute to introduce everybody to this young fella. This is Bob. Yeah, Bob joined our show about 3 years ago. We have another little Pekingese named Phoebe, and she has been the star of our show for 14 years. But unfortunately, she's gotten a little bit older. It's gotten harder for her to travel. We had to do a show that was hundreds of miles from home, so we thought it wasn't fair to drag her on such a long trip. So we left her home with Nana, taking good care of her, feeding her peanut butter crackers. And we called the local animal shelter where we were going and said, if you have a little dog we could use in the show, we'll use him in the show, and at the end of the show we'll announce that he's available for adoption. Well, they thought that was a great idea, but they were very apologetic. They said, we're sorry, all we have is one ugly little pup with an underbite. We took one look at him and said he's adopted. And I'm really glad we did. Like many of you, I've had dogs since I was a little boy. And Bobby is the nicest dog I ever had. Which is why we like to take a minute at the start of the show to tell his story to everybody. So that if you're thinking about getting a pet, boys, girls, moms, dads, seniors, go down the shelter first. There's lots of little creatures there, just like Bob, with a lot of love to give. Check him out. And incidentally, Bobby wouldn't have had his problem, but he had a decent ID tag. He had no identification when they found him wandering on a highway. So if you've got a pet you love too, check out the folks there with their pet ID tags. They made one for Bobby the other night, and it'll do a job, I'll tell you. He's going to be back a little later on in the show, but right now, one more time for Bob. Well, thank you so much for coming to see our show. This is our first year here at the Strawberry Festival. If there's a bunch of little kids that can't see, they're welcome to come in and sit on the grass here, right in front of the front row of the folks in these bleachers. They're really welcome to come in and do that. I don't see a lot of extra seats in the bleachers right now. But our show is sponsored today by the folks from Vision Auto Glass, who are set up right over there behind the lemonade stand. So if you have a little crack in your windshield or something, you don't necessarily have to replace it. They can actually fix it for you. So be sure to check them out while you're here. I started doing magic when I was about 10 years old, not your age. My sister took me to see a great magician by the name of Blackstone. And Mr. Blackstone brought me up on the stage and gave me a rabbit. And would you believe, as I held that rabbit in my hands, somehow he turned it into a box of candy. Well, I was blown away. So the next day I went to the library. I was 10 years old. I went to the library, I got out a book. I figured I'd learn his trick. I did not learn his trick. It took 16 years to learn his trick. But I was hooked on magic, and my favorite kind of magic is still the kind of magic where you get a chance to get right up close to everybody and do something right in the middle of the whole audience. So I'm going to do a little mystery for you folks that uses a few pieces of rope. I'm going to ask this nice lady if she'd check that one out for me, please. I'm going to ask this little one, can she check that? There you go. And you check that one, young lady. Make sure they don't stretch. They're not elastic. They don't have any chemicals on them. There's nothing odd or peculiar about them at all. They're just what I said they are, just a few pieces of rope. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Now the idea is to take these three unequal pieces of rope and right here in the middle of the whole audience, with you folks on all sides of me, to somehow change them. That's right, folks. I'm about to magish, totally surrounded. Now watch, I'm going to take that short piece of rope, pull it up, and make it equal to itself. Fair? Okay. Next I'm going to take the medium length piece of rope and do the same thing with that. Finally, I don't want you guys to feel left out. We'll pull the big one up over here. Now watch this, a mere snap of the magician's fingers, and folks, you won't believe your eyes, as I magically distort the molecular structure of that rope, transforming the three unequal pieces of rope into son of a gun. Your eyes don't deceive you. 1, 2, 3 equal pieces of rope. Well, thank you. Now, most folks say, well, but really, it's just magic, because you're all watching me very closely, especially those of you way in the back there, in the cheaper seats. And you realize what we actually have is nothing more than a short piece of rope, a medium length piece of rope, and a long piece of rope. And I thank you. Well, thank you, guys. You're a wonderful audience. You know, I grew up in Southwest Philadelphia, about 14 blocks from the television studios of WFIL, located at 46 Market Street. So tune in, WFIL. It was being carried on the ABC television network. So now let's just take a little trip back in memory and enjoy once again Dick Clark's Bandstand. Oh yeah, honey, we're gonna quit. We got a chubby checker jacket from honey, I think 3 jackets today will be a little too. Okay, darling, step into the box. Fasten your seatbelt. It'll be a rough ride. I'm glad you like the twist, Donald. Now, folks, not only is this good if you like the twist, but also if you suffer from headaches or stiff neck, just turn this little plank on the top and it makes the side walls move in ever so gently. So just gently massage the temples. Doesn't that feel good, honey? Yeah, you got to get one of these things, folks, before you leave the festival today. I told you it'd feel better. They like to twist, do you? Oh, yeah. What's that? No! No! Oh, twist! Woo! One more time! Woo! Oh, relax. He's perfectly all right. Uh-oh. Oh, my heavens. Oh, folks, will you look at that? That's just terrible. That is just happened. This is just an awful thing to happen to the world. Oh, my. Don't worry. Remember what I told you at the beginning? I'm a magician. I'll fix it. Woo! That's fun. Is that better now? One more time. Let's do it for Susie, my little twister. Well, I'm glad you like that one, folks. You know, we have now come to one of my favorite parts of the show. It's the part of the show where I get to meet a couple young people from the audience. I'm going to need a couple volunteers. You feel free. I have a lot of potential volunteers. Okay, how about this young man with the blue shirt and this young lady right here with the gray shirt? Come on up here. Watch your step. Come on up. Let's give them a nice round of applause. A little encouragement. It's a little scary coming up on stage. Young fellow, you step over this side. Young lady, you stay that side. That's a boy. Just step right on that black spot there, okay? That's a boy right on top of the trap door. And you're right over here, right under the sandbag. Well, let's meet these fine folks. Hello, what's your name? Nadir? Nahir. Nahir, how old are you? 9. Good heavens, almost an adult. Are you married? No, she's single. Okay, so we have Nahir here, and what's your name? Luke. And how old are you, Luke? 10. Oh, well then let me introduce you. Luke, this is Nahir. And Nahir, clean it up, Luke. This is Luke. Now, Luke and Nahir, you have a heavy burden on your shoulders because it's your job to make sure I don't put anything over on all those fine folks, okay? So you must watch me very closely, and Nahir, please notice that at no time do the fingers leave my hand, all right? Now, I had the honor last year of working in England with detectives, Luke, from the Scotland Yard, which is like our FBI, and with firefighters, Nahir, from the West Sussex Fire and Rescue Service. And we did shows all over England teaching children about fire safety using magic. Well, when I was leaving, one of the detectives, Luke, gave me this very strange set of handcuffs. They're very small, but they're very effective. Nahir, if a policeman's not in his uniform, he can put these in his pocket. They don't bulge. Somebody does something bad, they take it out, and they lock them up. But even though they're little, they're very effective in holding somebody prisoner. See those notches? You take them and push them into the fleshy part of a person's thumb. And then, Luke, you take that ratchet bar and you push it down. Try and pull it back out. See, now push it in just a little bit more, Luke. Pull it back. See, it won't back out. It ratchets down tight. So I'm going to let Luke and Nahir lock me in those cuffs, and then I'm going to escape in record time. Now, folks, nothing ever goes wrong, but just to be safe. Nahir, would you please hold on to the key for me? Okay. Nahir, whatever you do, honey, please don't lose the key, okay? Now, to make this even more interesting, besides the cuffs, I'm going to let Nahir and Luke tie my legs together with 25 feet of rope. And then I am going to escape in record time. Luke, this is the end for you. Well, take it. This is the end for you. Luke, just hold this cloth. You're going to shake this out all the way, this big tablecloth. And make sure there's no lock picks or anything in it, okay? Now here, I want you to put those cuffs on me. I want you to press them down good and tight. Do not be afraid of hurting me. Press them as tightly as you possibly can. Do not be afraid of hurting me. That's a girl. Get the other side. So you're not afraid of hurting me, okay? Luke, check them. Make sure Nahir put them on good and tight. Press them down. Make sure they're good and tight. That's a boy. See, generally when the thumbs are turning red and blue like that, it's a good sign that they're tight. Okay, now, Luke, I want you to take that cover cloth, and just like you're covering a table for your mom, I want you to cover my hands. You want my hands in the middle of that cloth, okay, under that green spot in the center. Okay, go ahead, just bring it up, cover my hands. That's a boy. Okay. All right, now you got your rope, you're ready to start? Folks, used to take Houdini about 5 minutes to get out. I'm going to get out in less time than that. You're going to tie my legs together down about there, kids, and we're going to start, okay? But before we get started, hold it. Would you hold that in here? Just hold that a second. Yeah, just hold that. Luke, that one feels loose on that side. Push it down, make sure it's tight. Okay, you got it. Okay. Put the cover on again here. Just cover my hands. Thank you. Now this might work best. Before we go any further though, tell everybody, are the cuffs on good and tight? Yes, okay. It might work best if you move over there though, okay? And Luke, you come over this side. Okay, now Luke, you put the cuffs on good and tight, didn't you? Okay, and you have the key. All right, so we're ready to start. Do you know what I want you to do with the rope though? Wait a second, come a little closer. Luke, would you hold this for me, man? I need to show her the rope. You're gonna take the rope like this, bring it around my leg, and tie it just like that. You got it? Okay, hold on to that. You got the key? Can I have the cover cloth, Luke? Okay, now we're ready to start. We got Luke, we got the here. You got the key, right? Tell everybody one last time before we start. Cuffs on good and tight, good and loud. Yes, okay. Wait a second, Luke, pull that cloth off. Oh my heavens, now here, do you have the key? She has the key, but look, all I have are those marks where you put those cuffs on so tightly. But I don't have the cuffs. I'm sorry, folks, I'm not going to be able to do the escape for you today. But I'll tell you what, Luke, now here, you have been really great helpers. Such good helpers, and we have presents for you. Susie, what do we have for Luke and the here? Oh, perfect. Perfect on this hot day. Luke, for you. Now here, for you. These are $5 sodas from the folks right here at Bayou Billy's, and then keep that, and all day long your family can use that cup and get it refilled for $2, okay? And from Susie and I, since you're now officially a member of the Magic Show cast, we have a wizard's hat for you, and a wizard's hat for you. But more important, something you can only get by coming up on stage and being such nice kids and making everybody smile and have a good time. Nice round of applause, please. Now here, and Luke, take it out, guys. Watch your step going down now. It is very hard to follow two cute kids like that, so I'm going to digress for just a minute. The story I told you about learning with Blackstone was all true. And I learned a lot then from books and magazines. But ultimately you reach a point where you need other magicians to help you. To get them to help you, you have to get into a magic club. And to get into a magic club, you have to pass a test. You have to prove that you've mastered some of the classics of magic. Some of the hardest magic on your own. So before I bring Bobby back, I'd like to take about 2 minutes to share with you one of my most favorite tricks. It's a trick I used when I was 16 years old to get into the International Brotherhood of Magicians. It's still one of my favorites, and I hope you all like it too. We call it the 3-ring concerto. Luke, come over here, give this little pull, show everybody it's solid. Luke, one more time. Give it a little pull. Show everybody it's solid. Thank you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I'm glad you like that. I think I like it when magic's pretty. This next one, though, I'm a little afraid of, to tell you the truth, but Bobby really wants to do it for you. I took him over to see that wonderful circus over there behind the Vision Autoglass booth. Well, they're great acrobats and throwing trapeze artists. They do some really scary stuff. And now Bobby thinks the only way you'll like our show is if he does something equally as scary. Well, I'm a little worried about it, but he really wants to do it, so we're going to take a shot. Ladies and gentlemen, here he is, our own Darren Doggy Daredevil, the one, the only, Robbie the Rocket. Hello, Bob. You ready to do this? He says anything for his audience. All right, Bob. Then today, folks, thanks to the sponsorship of Vision Autoglass and the Strawberry Festival, this young pup is about to risk both ears and his tail for your entertainment pleasure as he becomes the Canine Cannonball. Oh. That's right. Young fella, I'm going to load Bob into that cannon. I'll fire from that cannon at a speed of 25.5 miles an hour. He will fly through the air, do a somersault, pass through a target, and now here, land on the stage very close to you. Are you ready, Bob? He says he is. Professor, a little traveling music, please. You ready, Bob? Come on, Bob. Come on, Bob, jump right in there. Go over it, Bob. Bob, you don't fit. You've been eating too much of the fair food. Yeah, everybody around here likes them. All the folks from the food booth with the onions and the strawberries and the cheese, and those folks with the ice cream booth, he loves their ice cream. Every night they give him an ice cream cone, and now you don't fit. Suzanne, the dog don't fit. I'm in trouble. I got a big audience, and the dog don't fit. Oh, we're back at business. That's okay. All righty. Oh, maybe not such a good idea, honey. There you go, Bob. Oh, Bob. Bob, stop kidding around. Come on out of there. Show everybody you're okay. Oh, my God, it's really Bob. Oh, what have we done to Bob? Oh, this is just awful. I guess from now on, we're going to have to call him Matt. But you know what? It's not all bad here, because now he'll fit. You don't have to be crazy in this line of work, but it does help. Okay, folks, I'm going to load Bobby into that cannon. Now, Luke, I'm going to fire him from that cannon at a speed of 25.5 miles an hour. He's going to fly through the air, do a somersault, pass through a target, and here, land on that stage, very close to you. Are you ready, Bob? He says he is. Now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, out of respect for the courage of that brave little pup, let us pause for just a moment of silent prayer. That'll do. Here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Did you see that, folks? He came out of the cannon. He did a somersault. He clearly passed through that target, ladies and gentlemen. And now here, he landed in that box. Come on out, Bob. Another box. And that's not supposed to be there. Well, you know what happened. He came out of the cannon. He flew through the air. He did a somersault. He passed through the target. And he landed in that box. Come on out, Bob. Another box. And then it's another box. The boxes, honey, they're getting heavy. Well, you all saw it. He came out of the cannon. He flew through the air. He did a somersault. Oh, everybody knows what happened. But what you don't know, and what I don't know, is how in the world Robbie really wound up in that box. Let's hear it for Robbie, the Rocket. And let's keep it going for my two fine helpers, Mahir and Jake. Didn't they do a nice job? And the lady I couldn't do the show without, my wife and partner Suzanne, and our other little star, Maxwell. How'd you like the show, folks? Thank you for coming. We'll see you again with the Belmonts. Goodbye. God bless you all. Bye-bye.